Bring it back.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're now on to episode 3 of Kingdoms and Castles. If you remember last week we were focusing on sort of building up our population and getting quite a sort of a good base with some idle peasants to do some work. We've now got 112 beds after we finished the manor house which we built last week. This holds 25. But I fear we have neglected defences too long, and I sense that before too long we're either going to get a dragon or some Vikings. So this week the primary focus is now going to be on building up defence, trying to build up a solid wall sort of around part of the town and a few castle towers to try and defend our peasants from attack. So all focus is sort of really going to be on stone mining. Hopefully we'll be working pretty quickly. I've got one of the timber camps still offline because we've got enough timber, and I'd rather have the free peasants to work on either constructing the castle blocks or mining the stone. I'm just beginning to wonder whether I can actually squeeze in another stone mine, because that would then allow... yeah, I'm going to build a stone mine there, because once we start... currently we've only got 94 peasants in the town. Bloody fires. 102. It's given us a few more. Oh! We're now a burgeoning town. Go us. We really are starting to expand then now. I just can't believe these fires. I know I say this every episode, but literally after I filmed last week's episode and I was editing it afterwards, I noticed another couple of fires that I didn't even see at the time, which had broken out. They really are an absolute nightmare. Have we got any workers? Okay, so we have got some builders assigned to the quarry, which is good. Let's just fast forward a little bit. So I'm going to have this wall here, which is going to defend this bridge. And then also, I am considering putting the tax up a little bit more as well, because we only earn plus 6 gold per time we pay the librarian and the hospital, and the soldiers doesn't leave us a lot for extra soldiers. So I think wherever I put the building, which is here, tax rate is going to have to go up, despite the fact it does affect happiness quite a lot. But that gives us 41 to play with, a lot more money. Ah, see, worst fear is dragon, and all I've got is one little archer tower. I somehow sense that's not going to be enough to defend against him. Archer tower is trying. I don't know what the dragons do. I don't know how effective their attack is. I assume they are going to attack at some point. I assume they're going to set something on fire, although we are now quite well equipped to deal with fire, since we're so used to it. Oh. Quite a menacing little dragon. Ah. Yes, he's going to set my stone quarry on fire. Less than ideal. Now we should have some free people after building 14 free people. I'm going to finish off that tower block there. Oh, he's setting the mill on fire. This is a troublesome bastard, this dragon, isn't he? Go away. Okay, looks like he's leaving. So, that means I think next is probably a Viking invasion, given what I've sort of watched on other people's channels. So this is where, against the Vikings, the wall should hopefully be a lot more useful. We're now full, we've got a full 112 people, so all our attention now is going to be on basically collecting as much stone and building as many walls and defensive structures as possible. I'm not going to build any more houses at the moment because I want to sort of leave that open for the moment. Oh, although I could build another just to increase his happiness. His happiness is very low at the moment. He's going to build one more manor house there then. That's just because by building it, you see, that gives him +8 happiness just for having another house next to him. So that's taken me from, you know, it makes a significant difference. But our biggest problem is just a continual stone shortage, because I'm spending all, as soon as any stone's earned, it's immediately spent on building towers. So, and it's 15 stone per block, so it's quite expensive. I'm going to try and get these sort of 4 high or something. I was reading online, the higher you build the towers, the more effective the archers are. So, well worth building your towers that extra little bit higher, just to make them better. But if you build them on their own as just like a single block tower like this, then you're limited to 3 in height. But if you put them sort of as part of a wall, or if you build them in like a square, you can go a lot higher. Oh, okay, just to add to our woes, we've now had a plague. I did build a hospital over here, so I'm hoping, yes, my doctors are going around healing everyone, so hopefully we won't have any or at least not too many deaths from this plague, because I don't want all my peasants to die. Not yet, at least, anyway. Yeah, doctors are doing a good job. Worth investing in the hospital, I think. Oh no. Oh, and they're coming from completely the wrong direction. Oh dear. Okay, I think we're in trouble. I'm not sure there's a lot I'm going to be able to do about this other than just be attacked. The 2 Viking armies are going to land, and the only thing that might be in range is 1 defence tower. I have no army, and a wall which is facing entirely the wrong direction for the Vikings. Okay, we're in trouble here now, guys. Everything is ablaze. All my hovels are ablaze. My little archer tower's trying to shoot them, but I killed 1. Oh dear. Masses of fire down here on my trees. And I think both hovels are quite on fire at the moment, although peasants are fighting to try and put the fire out. Stone mine's on fire. We managed to inflict some casualty. Fire was claimed a quarry. Okay. It's not too bad. I can live with just 1 quarry lost. So, okay. Vikings are dangerous. Need to remember that one. I just want to quickly build these up 1 more block, and then I'm going to build an archer tower on the end of each of these. Then hopefully if any Vikings sail down here, or land sort of this side, at least this side is protected then. And then I can focus on building a wall and the rest of the city. Since to get to the integral part of the city, they've almost always got to sail down like a narrow channel. So I think next I might sort of build like a little tower structure here. This can then be used to sort of shoot out if anyone tries to come in from over here, and it can defend quite well as well. Everyone is very unhappy due to the trauma of the recent Viking. Dear. Okay, so we're going to pay to build 2 archer towers on there, and then yeah, we're going to build my castle over down here. So it's not actually going to shelter the city in the form of a wall. It's just going to be like a purely defensive structure. Also need to consider the fact that food, while not yet as a shortage, is starting to head a little bit low. Yes, I'm just going to fill in a couple of farms on the high fertility land down here, just to top it up a little bit. I don't want people to start starving, particularly if I end up like getting a dragon attack or a Viking invasion around the farm, and we end up losing a few farms. It's good to have a bit of a surplus. Okay, stone blocks are starting to come back in. So I'm planning on doing like 4 high towers with like a one-piece wall between them. So like a sort of keep type structure, something like that. So as I say, yeah, it's not going to form actually part of a wall, or not yet at least. It might do in time, but it's more just to shoot if anyone tries to come along this side or come down the channel. And then ultimately, once I sort of move across to this island, I'll probably build a similar sort of thing over here or on this side to defend this channel entrance. Okay, so that wall's built up. In time as well, I'll make this wall stronger or higher, but for now, I think it would just have to do. Getting some more stone in. It's good, at least I've got a nice surplus of people now. Stone cutters are working quickly. And even though I still don't have enough stone, at least it's coming in at a good rate so I can keep building, which is what we want. Hospital open. How's the library doing? What's that up to? It's up to 11. Not so bad. So some people that have access to a library or church, it's these 4 people here. So I could build something like a church. Because as far as I understand, churches don't actually require any upkeep, but they are much larger buildings. So it's possible, perhaps, to build a church in this gap here, although that unusable stone might have to be removed. But I think there's a tool for that. Yeah, look, rock removal. But that requires... oh, tools. Don't yet have any tools. I need a blacksmith, and that requires 50 stone. Okay, once I get to 50 stone, which I should do shortly, I can then place a blacksmith. It's gonna go... probably not there. Running out of space in my industrial sector. Okay, I'm not sure where to put this guy. We'll chop down these trees here. And that should give us some space on the end of that bit of road. I don't really want to put it here because this is where I'm thinking about putting the church to cover those houses. Because I'm just getting a permanent -3 happiness penalty. And that's just quite damaging for no real reason. There we go. Place him there. Yeah, so you can see the sort of general shape this little castle's going to be. We'll have another block there. Block there. And they'll fill it, and then we'll start building up the height on the corner towers to 4, and then we'll put archer towers on each of them. But this should then start to allow us to use the iron. The blacksmith can then make tools, which we can then use to get rid of this useless rock, and then we can then build a church. And then we will lose the happiness penalty, and all will be good. Everyone will be happy. Until we get invaded and lose again, but can't help that. Right, good, I'm pleased with the surplus of peasants we now have. That makes building a lot quicker and easier. When you don't have very many people, it takes ages to build anything, because you only have just 1 or 2 people working on it. Benefit from the library and all that. A lot of people seem to be getting a lot of plagues. Keep sweeping through. Hopefully we've got enough doctors to heal the most bulk of them for now at least, but we may have to start building more hospitals if it becomes a problem in the future. What we got? I use charcoal and iron and makes one correct a tool or armament. Well, we'll make tools just for the moment. Oh, tools actually get used in... oh, God. Ooh, this looks like a much bigger dragon. He's red this time. Shoot him! Shoot him down! Ah yes, at least he's going near my defensive wall. Although hopefully it won't burn my archer tower down, even though the fact he's basically sat on it. Oh, he's trying to burn down my archer tower. No, you bastard. Stop it. Peasants, bring water. Is that him? Is he gone? No, he's stopped again. Okay, the peasants did a good job. They put out the fire on my archer tower, so that didn't get destroyed. Oh, he's going to set fire to something else now, I think. Yeah, pretty hovels. It's kind of near to a well. Oh dear, 2 hovels lost due to the stupid dragon. Oh well, at least hovels are quite easy to rebuild. I don't suppose it really matters, but still. Oh, someone died of old age. I think that's probably the first person to die of old age. In this game anyway. So that's... oh god, happiness has took a massive plunge because of the fact that the people are homeless. And about the recent dragon attacks. I'm gonna... no, we'll leave it. I'm still profiting from tools, but by allowing quarries and foresters to use the tools, it is, you know, they're using them up. Good tools increase cutting. Oh, it did make quite a difference by to the output though. So no, we like tools now. Why didn't I do that earlier? And that now is the height I want. So once all this section is built, I'll then put archer towers on each one of these. I'm then probably going to construct... yeah, I might construct a wall like sort of along the outside of the island, to be honest. Or we could have one long wall along the back. Yeah, that would probably make sense. That's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to build one wall along here, cuts off the back of the island, which initially could seem sort of a bit silly because, you know, it's got all this good space here to use. But once in time, once I'm ready to expand, because I've still got this space down here and over here, I can then just build more defensive structures here and have like a 2-tiered defence. So yes, that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to need quite a lot of stone, I think, for such a project. Yes, a lot more than I've currently got. And we're still waiting for our little castle down here to be finished. Oh, and I've missed off one of the towers. Isn't as tall as I thought it was going to be. Finish that off. We're still in positive food, which is good. I think for this week's episode, we'll just try and get this little tower built and finished, and then finish off the rest of the wall next week. Oh. Ironically, after saying I've got a massive surplus of wood, I have now run out of wood. Under construction. Taking quite a while to get these up. Because it costs 25 wood each for the archery towers. They do need quite a bit. I have now got a good amount of tools, so next week as well I can work to remove this unusable stone to make way for my church. Starting to a nice little castle coming on there. So I think that'll have to do for this week's episode, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. can see now our little settlements is starting to come on now. We're starting to get sort of a good amount of progress, starting to get our walls up, our castles up, and we've got sort of a bit of a long-term plan to hopefully next time actually resist the Vikings, rather than just sort of stand around while we get raided. So, hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, commenting, liking the video. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.